how to understand your wife. Okay, so I'll never say we have the feminine kind of figured out, okay? But I will say that we have it figured out to the closest anything out there has it figured out, okay? And yes, this may sound arrogant, but it's just a genuine feedback that we get from the past decade, right? From thousands of men ongoingly, from thousands of testimonials. And having said that, for you to kind of understand, for you to immerse yourself in how to understand your wife, it requires you to have to understand yourself first. Okay? So we don't even want to look at, to start with, how to understand your wife. Because most of the time, not understanding your wife has to do more with you not understanding yourself. Okay? And once you understand yourself, your masculine, your role in the marriage, your tools for the marriage, then you can start understanding her feminine, her role in the marriage. What are her tools? Without these, it's like, imagine your wife speaks Chinese and you speak no language at all. Or imagine your wife speaks English and you speak no language. Or imagine your wife speaks whatever language and you speak no language at all, right? Once you learn your language, so it gives you the confidence in communication, then you can start to learn her language. Your languages don't need to be the same, right? You just need to understand hers. And the feminine and the masculine are not the same languages, okay? Now, this also comes with you having to trust that she will understand your healthy masculine once you have mastered that, okay? So let's kind of look at this, right? So first, accept the gaps that you have in really understanding what healthy masculinity is, right? This is the first step. You can't really solve a problem if you don't know what the problem is. And without a doubt, like, if you are experiencing marital challenges, then there is a gap in what healthy masculinity needs to look like for you within your marriage, okay? And you need to get clear on the aspects of that, right? And this is so that you can master that language and so that it can kind of become second nature in your life, okay? So, for example, being in control of your emotions, right? Being decisive and learning how to prioritize your actions, living a purposeful life, having accountability structures in place, having other healthy masculine relationships throughout your life, right? And these are just to name a few, but these are examples of healthy masculine tools and the language that comes with that, which allows the feminine to flourish and allows you to have the level of confidence knowing how you need to show up as a healthy masculine figure in your marriage. Okay?
Yeah, and you can quickly touch on that relationship triangle, right? Where the masculine man brings certain things to that relationship, the feminine woman brings certain things to that relationship, and it creates that third entity of the actual relationship. Yeah. That's why it's so important. For the only thing that the man can control is what he brings to that relationship, right? And as you said, hey, if you don't even understand your language of what you're bringing to that level of communication or what you're bringing to that third entity of the relationship, it doesn't matter what she speaks, because you're not bringing forward, you're not taking responsibility and ownership for what you can actually bring to that relationship, which causes breakdowns, right?
Yeah, exactly. And only then you can kind of start to understand what her language is, right? Because once you've mastered the masculine and have implemented it in your life and you start to, have it second nature, that's when you start to explore the feminine, right? You need to learn the difference as a first step within understanding. Like accept that you have gaps, but then when you're trying to understand her language, you got to accept that the language is different. there is a difference between the feminine and the masculine. How it operates, how it communicates, how it listens, how it interprets stuff, how it behaves, how the feelings are motivated, what the feelings are motivated by, what the actions are motivated by. All of these are different from the masculine versus the feminine, right? So once you surrender and actually accept that fact, then you can start to explore and you can start looking at it from that place, okay? And you need to understand the motives here of why the feminine behaves the way it behaves. You need to understand the best masculine response for the feminine or to the feminine that actually serves the relationship, serves your wife, serves the kids, the marriage, the family overall, right? So you need to understand what's important for the feminine and what it needs. Now, because you have mastered your healthy masculine and you've surrendered to accepting that these two are different, masculine and feminine, you're not going to be reacting to it. You're not going to be trying to fix it, change it. You're coming from a place of acceptance. So learning how the feminine works and accepting it from that place even further and deeper is not going to be a problem. Okay? And that's when you kind of get to the next stage, which is harmonial coexistence of the feminine and the masculine, right? Like once you speak your healthy masculine and understand the feminine, you can start to be of service to the feminine. But not just in any way, in the way that it maximizes her needs being met and taken care of. Because when you do that, the feminine's natural response is to reciprocate that. So if you want your needs met, make sure you take care of her needs to have your needs met. Okay? It's kind of like you are the soil and the fertilizer for the feminine, okay? And when your soil is healthy and fertilized and watered, the feminine will grow into a beautiful flower with all of its gifts giving back to you. Like, I know that was a bit poetic, but does that make sense? John, anything you want to add here?
I'm just thinking of the cactus plant in the desert. No, but it's like that, right? Like where there's in those kind of environments, harsh things grow. It's no different to the relationship. Harsh things will grow out of a harsh environment, right? They learn how to survive.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah,
but it's prickly.
yeah.